Hello wrestling fans, the Wrestling Wizard here and welcome to another video, and in this video we're going to address the Bray Wyatt situation, the current Bray Wyatt criticism and whether he'll be ready for WrestleMania 39. So let's get to it. As wrestling fans, we're all entitled to an opinion. At the end of the day, opinions are like arseholes. We all have one and there's nothing wrong with having a strong opinion. You might hate the Bray Wyatt storyline. You might think it's absolute nonsense, garbage, that Uncle Howdy's an absolute lunatic. And in general, you feel that the Bray Wyatt storyline has been a bit flat. The return's been a bit disappointing. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's just in isolation your take on things. And no one can take that away from you. However, there's a fine line between having an opinion like that and crossing this line where you go into this territory where you become hurtful, hateful, and personal. And sadly, there are wrestling fans, reporters, dirt sheets, even YouTubers using the Bray Wyatt name to get extra clout, to get extra clicks, to get people talking about them because they're only in it for themselves. And it's constant negative badgering. Constant. Nothing wrong with a strong opinion. However, when you start making personal comments about somebody's weight, saying they're fat, they're out of shape, they can't wrestle, which again is a grey area, saying they can't wrestle, because again that's just an opinion. There's nothing really wrong with that. But then when you wish for somebody to lose their job, that now that Vince McMahon is back in the scene to some capacity, that now he's back, that Vince is going to fire Bray Wyatt, and they're almost happy about that, like that makes them feel better about themselves. What type of human being in this world would wish another human being to lose their job? Now, if I was Bray Wyatt, I would take a positive spin on this and use this as a form of flattery, really, because think about it, all these people are talking about you on a weekly basis. They're putting time and energy into you. So it kind of sums them up, doesn't it, really, as individuals. Now, I genuinely believe a lot of these people are just in it for themselves. But on the flip side of things, they genuinely might not understand what's going on with this Bray Wyatt storyline, this Bray Wyatt creative. So in this video, I'm going to break down a lot of the criticism and kind of give a little bit of a counter argument. Now, obviously I'm going to be a little bit biased because I'm a massive Bray Wyatt fan, but it might make you look at things a little bit differently. Now, the first bit of criticism that comes up an awful lot is the storyline, that many people feel that since the return, things have gone flat. Now, remember, this Bray Wyatt storyline is a psychological angle, okay? So it's going to have a lot of layers. It's a very complex storyline. Essentially, Bray Wyatt is addressing mental health on our TV screens. And it took a lot of courage for him to come back, battle his demons, and return to WWE, knowing he was going to return to criticism, which he has. Because haters are always going to hate. Now, the base of this storyline is being based off lies, so there's going to be a lot of confusion. When Bray Wyatt says the Fiend is dead, you can't take that as gospel because he's battling psychologically. So there's going to be a blurred line between what is right and wrong. Many people slating the fact, of course, that Bray Wyatt hasn't wrestled much. And when you break it down, he's actually wrestled more than you might think. He just hasn't wrestled much on TV. Also, add on top of that the fact that he's broken 2 of his fingers. And it appears like he's got some form of knee injury as well. So instead of getting all critical about Bray Wyatt not wrestling, assuming that he's just avoiding the ring, there could well be more to it that we don't know. Another criticism, the Mountain Dew pitch black match. Now, we don't know how much of this was Bray Wyatt say so we can't criticize Bray for that. And anybody in that situation wouldn't have pulled it off the way that Bray and LA Knight managed to do. And yes, it wasn't match of the year, and they were dealt a pretty crappy hand. But imagine, say, putting Roman Reigns in a Mountain Dew pitch black match. He ain't gonna come out smelling the roses the other side either, is he? Uncle Howdy, it can come across a bit goofy, it can come across a bit out there, but if you go back to Bray Wyatt's lyrics, lie for me brother, use me for cover, what if potentially Bray Wyatt is using Bo Dallas, his real life brother, Life of Me brother, to cover for him by portraying Uncle Howdy. But in reality, Bray Wyatt is Uncle Howdy. It's a part of his darkest psyche. And there's some deep, deep layers to Uncle Howdy and what that means. And this might be even deeper than we'll ever find out with Bray Wyatt. This could go all the way back to his childhood. Now, another piece of criticism that's been constant is the fact that Bray Wyatt is taking on Bobby Lashley. Many people feel that there's been zero build. Now, if you go many years back, there was an angle with Retribution, The Fiend, and the Hurt Business. And allegedly, in the year of 2021, Bray Wyatt and Bobby Lashley were allegedly supposed to have a match at SummerSlam. So this wasn't just completely random, this was planned in the past. And let's not forget about the fact that Bobby Lashley is quite a big deal, arguably an equal to Brock Lesnar. Also, do you really think that Brock Lesnar would have agreed to lose to Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania? Unlikely. Therefore, you're going to be better off in a feud with Bobby Lashley where, say, he returns the Fiend, beats Bobby Lashley. That's not going to bury Bobby Lashley by any means. You've got layers where you can add and introduce potentially a faction angle alongside the Hurt Business, a potential Wyatt 6. There's loads of options there post WrestleMania. And then you've brought back one of the most popular characters of all time, and you're going to book it just the way that Triple H and Bray Wyatt envisioned it before Vince McMahon got his hands on it many years ago. Now, when you think about it logically, in summary, Bray Wyatt is claimed to be a servant who just goes where the circle takes him. I truly believe that circle is complete at WrestleMania. And let's not rule out Alexa Bliss in all of this as well. This isn't just about Bray Wyatt. This is about Alexa Bliss and Bray Wyatt embracing their dark side and reveling in who they truly are. And that, logically, storyline sense goes all the way back 2 years ago at WrestleMania 37. But this time, it's actually going to pay off the way it was planned. Now, of course, there's a giant question mark at the moment surrounding WrestleMania and whether Bray Wyatt is going to be ready for WrestleMania. We'll have to wait and see. Allegedly, this is due to an illness. Recent reports have been a bit more positive, saying that Bray Wyatt should be back and ready for WrestleMania, but we'll have to wait and see. But what we shouldn't be doing is jumping to conclusions. These dirt sheets have just jumped on this negative bandwagon regarding Bray Wyatt when they don't know the actual facts. The fact that Bray Wyatt is actually ill, and that's the reason why he's not been on TV. That's the reason why we got that very random Uncle Howdy Bobby Lashley segment. Instead of jumping to conclusions to be in it for yourself, to get more clout, to enhance your brand, instead maybe think about the person and the consequences of your words and actions down the line, and maybe, just maybe, in the future, you might get a little bit more credibility. Now, you know, on this channel, I'm usually very, very positive, but I thought it was appropriate to address this. I pray that Bray Wyatt gets better soon. Of course, from a selfish perspective, I'd love to see him at WrestleMania. We'll just have to wait and see. Thank you, as always, for watching the video. As always, be really appreciative if you could like the video, share the video, and even better, subscribe if you're new. And we'll catch you in the next one.